Hello, friends. You caught me listening to my music before I got started, but welcome to my kitchen. It's Wednesday at 11 a.m. I know you know that, but I am super excited to come to you today because, as always, two healthy recipes that I think they should go on your list, your grocery list, your meal planning list. To help you not only get to a new place in your health, but to feed your family. So today's focus, as I am hustling through the house trying to get everything set for today's live, I thought this is the perfect thing. I'm a little bit frazzled, just gonna be real, okay? A little bit frazzled. And I thought I almost scratched a whole recipe because of an issue, which we'll talk about in a minute. And I thought, no, that's exactly what I need to do. I need to bring to them the most challenging days, just like your days of the week that end up getting frazzled with family, with schedules, with events, with extracurricular activities, with long work hours. It happens. And so how do we do that and still maintain a plan of healthy eating? Or if you're with me, a 5-in-1 plan for success. Today's gonna give you an extra tool in your tool belt. And I gotta admit, there's a whole lot of opening things that are pre-made. Yeah. And that's okay, right? I am not gonna have an issue with it because that is reality. And I wanna be really transparent with you guys. I love coming to you with recipes, and sometimes because some of my close friends share with me, they're like, oh my gosh, Julie, I would never make that. Like, that has got way too many ingredients in it, and those spices and those things, I don't know what that is. So let's just keep it real today, okay? This is going to be for every single person, whether or not you're a cook or not. You gotta eat, right? And that also brings me to say, we get hung up on the D word, the diet word. Many of us have said it, many of us think it, many of us still do it. You know what? I still say it. But here's the transformation that has to happen. When I say diet, I am referring to what I eat. What is my diet right now? And that's where you need to switch your thoughts. Of course, we all have to be dieting, right? We have to feed our bodies. We don't think of dieting as like a free-for-all. I'm going to eat all the things I want to eat no matter what. We think about diet as having restrictions. So think about your diet and what kind of great things are you going to include in that diet. These are a couple that I think you'll want to do. So first of all, happy coffee day. Who knew there's a national day for everything? I kind of chuckle a little bit at the previous 2 days, National Sons Day and National Daughters Day. I have both of those, and every day is their day, and every day is National Coffee Day. So happy National Coffee Day. Go grab you a coffee, and maybe this coffee will get me through being a little bit frazzled coming to you cooking. But let's get started. As always, I am Julie Brinkley. I am not a professional chef. I have no professional training. I simply am a life coach that happens to have a weight loss plan and some really rock star clients that I adore getting to love on and support and walk alongside. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but let's go ahead and get started. Now, a couple tricks today that I haven't done for you is we're using my favorite little vegetable again, zucchini. And I wanted to show you a different way to use this. You know that I'm the zucchini basher, and sometimes I bash zucchini noodles, even though I made them for you last week and they were scrumptious. If you didn't make that dish, you should go back and look. But it was great. But this is actually my favorite way to use zucchini, and that is to create a zucchini boat. It's a great way to get your vegetable in, hold your protein, makes a beautiful dish, something creative and fun. Lots of different applications to this, but today it's barbecue chicken. So that just sounds amazing, right? So what I'm gonna show you is a couple different things. First of all, I have spaghetti squash roasting in the oven. So I'm not gonna mess with that for another dish. But these today, instead of roasting these up in the oven briefly, okay, which is what I would do, I'm gonna take a little scooper and I'm just gonna kind of hollow out some of the seeds. Now, oftentimes, guys, these seeds that I'm taking out, these little, the flesh that I'm taking out, this is the part that kind of gets mushy. So by taking this out, you're kind of creating this little bit firmer texture vegetable that's gonna really hold your protein just fine. Now, funny story, there was actually 4 of these, because how can you have 3 halves, right? Sometimes in the Brinkley house, you end up with 3 halves because of my dear, dear Hoka, who apparently is a vegetable eater. So we're gonna go with 3, which actually works out good because I'm doubling this recipe. Brings me to the recipes. If you're seeing this video on Beneath the Surface News or on the Crumb website, the recipe will be posted and it will be for one serving, okay? I'm doubling it today because I've got to feed my girl, and so it works out well for me to double it. Also, this is creating a recipe that this zucchini is your green. It's all of your green, your vegetable, okay? I like a little variety. So it worked out well that Hoka ate the other one because we're gonna show you some really great air fryer green beans. I was already gonna do that. I didn't like scramble at the end to throw that in, I promise. So for now, one way to prep these before you stuff them with the protein is to do a quick blanch. And I've got some boiling water over here. I'm just gonna toss those in. Hey Google, set a timer for 1 minute. So,
all right, 1 minute.
I'm sorry if I just said off your Google, but we're gonna let those go for 1 minute. I've kind of had the water boiling. It's just gonna soften that texture of the zucchini, okay? The other way that I like to do that is to rub them down a little bit with olive oil and go ahead and roast them in the oven. If you've watched me before, then I have done that before with our Philly cheesesteak stuffed peppers, with the lasagna stuffed peppers. I like that pepper to kind of be the cooking process to be started, okay? So that's a good way to do it, or just a quick blanch in this water is gonna do the trick. Now here's the deal. Wednesday morning, I go see my favorite little guy that is in the produce section at Walmart, or maybe the bakery. I'm not sure, it's right there at the corner. He wasn't there today, but it made me just start thinking about routine and how we get stuck in a routine. Hence the black dress that I tell you I wear all the time, because it's routine. It's what's comfortable. And that's where I want us to start thinking about our food. Find some things. Hey Google, cancel. Find some things that are like routine. You don't have to think about it. It's what you pull out every time you get a chance to think about, oh gosh, we're gonna have to do drive-through. Nope, we've got this little quick and easy recipe that we can do. I'm gonna let those go just a little bit longer. That seemed like a really quick minute. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you set your timer. But inside of this recipe, here's the thing, guys. Again, this morning at Walmart, I was like, I'm gonna grab those chicken breasts that I love so much. I'm gonna throw them in the Instapot. I'm gonna shred it up. And I stopped myself and I thought, Julie, what are you doing? People get busy. Use the canned chicken. It's fine. And when you are on plan, if it means taking a couple things like canned chicken a couple different times out of your 10 times that you make chicken, then do it, okay? I spoke with some clients this week and just reviewing some of their choices and some of the things that they're doing. And I was so proud of one of them. I'll give him a little shout out. But of just not improvising, but looking at food differently and thinking, you know what, I need protein, I need some vegetable. It was like, okay, it's green beans today, it's canned salmon. We're gonna make it work. And we're gonna get that lean and green meal in so the rest of my day can be checked off as a successful day. That's what it takes. So here are some supplements for you out there that maybe found yourself eating a can of green beans and some canned salmon. This is something a little bit more exciting, and I think you'll like it. We're gonna take the canned chicken. Now this can is 12.5 ounces. Now that was in water. here's the deal. My girl ran today. I'm not super worried about it. If you're on plan, then you need to know that the adequate protein for this one serving would be 4.5 ounces, okay? Doubled would be 9 ounces, so I'm a little over in protein. Not too worried about it for those of us that need a little bit of extra, but if you're 5 and 1 with me, then follow the recipe just like it says, okay? So we're gonna take our doubled chicken here. It's 12 ounces. And we're gonna take 4 tablespoons. Guys, here's a little secret. Now, at first I thought, oh dear, it's actually a brand name listed in the recipe. And I thought, great, I probably don't have that. I probably can't find that mustard. Well, looky there. There it is. I've actually used his brands before. He has great marinades. They're all sugar-free. And guys, this is a little small price to pay to be able to have a really great indulgent recipe, okay? So we're gonna take 4 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. And here's the secret too. Even if you're not on plan, it's so important to be mindful of how much you're using. I want you to look at this. Now, pre-weight loss days for me, I would have just taken that bottle and just like went for it and not measured. But I want you to look. That is plenty saucy. It's gonna be delicious. And it's a sugar-free sauce. We're good to go, right? Simple canned chicken, sugar-free barbecue sauce. Let me grab my zucchini out of here. Again, for those of you that are on plan, now I've just taken a minute. Those have just started to kind of soften up that zucchini flesh a little bit. Again, my favorite way to do that is a little bit of olive oil, stick it in the oven, under the broiler even, just to get it a little bit started. For those of you on plan, you know where those handy dandy tools that we have, like something called a vegetable conversion chart. That's where we're gonna find the correct ounces for zucchini for your portion. Now today, Tatum and I will be using 1.5 of these for our lean portion with that little bit of green, and then we're gonna add in some green beans for the other portion of those 3 half-cup portions of green, okay? So we're gonna take this. Guys, I have to like stall because this is gonna be so quick and easy. This could be your new favorite thing. If this process right here seemed overwhelming, the other thing you could do, if you remember last week, I just wedged up some zucchini slices, quick seared them in the pan. They were delicious with the meatballs. I would maybe even do that again. Put this right on top of it, top it with cheese. We could toss it back in the oven. Doesn't have to be a fancy boat, although presentation on this is gonna look great. And we're gonna take this and just fill the boats with this barbecue chicken mixture. Again, my protein is up about 3 ounces for those of you that are on 5 and 1. If you're not, don't you worry one bit. A little extra protein's not gonna set you back. Although I will tell you with our plan, it isn't heavy protein. It's called recommended daily allowance of protein, which is so great to learn and to understand what that looks like, what it feels like after a day goes of plan, eating the just right amount of things. Our plan is based in science, so that's the really fun part about it, that I don't have to worry about. The plan does that for me. So now, this is actually a perfect portion. I kind of have it heaped up there. It might not be as heaping if I would have had that extra zucchini. Thank you, Hoka. So that's done. Now we get to take, I believe it is a 1/4 cup of reduced fat cheddar cheese. Super easy to find, part skim or 2% milk cheddar cheese. Remember, we're not going for the fat-free. This extra cheese is gonna be a little bit more protein actually as well. And we're gonna top that right up here on all of these. Oh my goodness. I'm super sad for my little pilot who I'm pretty sure, no, see, there you go. Do you deliver to the Metroplex? I wondered if that was about to come. No, I don't, but we will let you know how this one tastes. And I probably could be sweet talked to make it again because look at that. I wish somebody would have started their timer because this was super easy. Once again, no more excuses because this is easy. What's your substitute? What? Oh, subtitles. Oh no. Oh, because I know why you need subtitles. I thought you said substitute. I need glasses, Joy. You need subtitles because I know where you are. But you can catch the replay. And also I'll send you the recipe. But I'm going to stick this in the oven. And just in time, I'm going to take out the spaghetti squash. Now, after I purchased the spaghetti squash, I thought to myself, if I was going to go easy breezy, I probably should have gotten the frozen spaghetti squash. You could do that. If you did that, it would take a whole, like, I don't know, 7 minutes of cutting this in half and scooping it out. That's all I had to do. Toss it in the oven, probably a good 25 minutes. If you can see, it's kind of got some places on the top that have kind of cooked through. The other thing I really like to do is just feel it. I can't touch it with my hand because it's really hot, but see, I can feel it kind of gives way. I know that that spaghetti squash in there is tender enough for me to scoop out. So I'm going to set that to the side and go ahead. I've got to think about my extra veggie because I need more green. This is a great place for you guys to use flavored olive oils. If you're not a client, I don't care if you're a client or not a client, flavored olive oils are where it's at because then you get this really flavorful, indulgent way to cook your vegetables without adding any extra fats and things like that that maybe you're missing because if you just do it plain. I mean, that's like steaming broccoli. Not very fun, right? So we're going to drizzle just a little bit. This one is a sun-dried tomato and garlic Parmesan olive oil. Just flavored olive oils are just fine. I love using a lemon one. That's my absolutely favorite. But I happen to be out of it right now. So I need to take a run to one of my favorite stores to get some more of that. But I want to show you a couple different substitutions for that. Now I happen to have as a gift, well, shout out to my sister-in-law, a gift was just some citrus pepper, just a seasoning. There's a great Trader Joe's citrus seasoning blend. Again, on seasoning blends, you want to make sure that you just watch for no additional added sugars. Okay, be mindful of it. We're going to talk about some brands here in just a second. This is another suggestion. Mrs. Dash is awesome, super plan approved. You can use this a lot. No sugar, no actually salt. I mean, it's salt free, which is great, full of flavor. And what I like to do is add just a little bit of this dehydrated lemon with it. Okay, and you've got this really customizable blend for not very much money. And so we're going to take just a little bit of seasoning to that, and we're going to go ahead and squirt some acid, the lemon juice, right onto those green beans. We're going to toss them in the air fryer and go ahead and get those started. 15 minutes on 400. I'm going to check that again here in a second just to make sure that it's not proven, because typically when I'm using the air fryer, I just check it a bunch and I get it to exactly the crunchy, crisp edges that I want on my okra or whatever else I'm cooking. So the other part of our zucchini is cooking, our green bean. We have our zucchini in the oven. Next up, this is going to be a shrimp dish. Don't turn me off because you're like, oh my God, I don't do shrimp. Delete. I'm not going to watch anymore. You can substitute chicken. Okay. So this is something you should think about. On shrimp, it is cooked shrimp. I have raw shrimp here. We do have a lean conversion chart. You guys that are clients, you know where to find that. And it's actually 11 ounces difference. Do you know that? When you get raw, uncooked shrimp versus cooked shrimp, there's a difference in ounces, okay? So we want to be able to do that. Let me grab a bowl. I want to actually show you how much shrimp this would be. So we're going to go ahead and reset our scale, and I'm looking for 7 ounces of cooked, so 11 ounces of uncooked shrimp. Oh, guys. Looky there. This is a lot of food. You are gonna love. Once again, this is the other reason I made shrimp, because I thought, I am wiping out those excuses, because those people that are fearful of plan, because they're like, dadgum, I like to eat. I don't want to go on her plan. I bet she can barely eat anything. No, look at this, guys. Now, I'm not going to be wasteful. I've got 4 more shrimp in here, so I'm going to toss them in. I wanted to measure that for you. Okay, for those of you on plan, you know it's important to measure your protein and your vegetables every single time. So we're going to go ahead and start this just by a quick sear. Now, could you use pre-cooked shrimp, like the boiled shrimp you get out of the freezer? You could. It's not my favorite way. I'd rather do it myself here. But while that is warming up, I'm going to show you the sauce. And in the recipe, I will try... Oh, now don't even tell me you don't eat shrimp. I just said, Alicia, you can do chicken. There's a modification on the bottom of the recipe that says if you don't like shrimp, I'm going to change it. Alicia, if you don't like shrimp, do chicken. You can do chicken, okay? Ounces are a little bit different if you're on plan. But this is the brand that was available to me. Now, the brand on the recipe, once again, was not available. And I got really bummed because I thought, dadgummit, why is that my luck? But here's the deal. I Googled, we're going to put just a little bit of olive oil in there. I Googled, and it turns out that brand that's in the recipe is not available anymore. Not just at our store, they don't make it anymore. And it was considered a light one. Well, here's what I want to challenge you to do, guys. Don't settle. It doesn't take that much work to look at the numbers. So I just looked at the numbers. I was like, you know what, let me look up what the nutritional numbers were on that light version of Alfredo sauce. How far away am I if I do a regular one? And the brand name, let me see, Bertolli, okay, was the brand name. The brand name Bertolli in the regular Alfredo sauce was pretty different. Like big enough difference that I was like, oh, I can't do that. I can't be that far off of plan for you people that are on plan. And so I kept looking. There were about 3 different brands. I looked at this one. It was so close. We're talking 1 carb away. So very, very close. However, here's my disclaimer. If you're on 5-in-1, this is not 100% 5-in-1. And you know that 100% a plan is 100% success. So there's my warning for you. However, I think this is still a really great, healthy, clean meal to try. If you want to try it on plan, I just recommend maybe this sauce not be something you use every single day because it isn't 100% accurate. I'm going to go ahead and toss these in a hot pan. I honestly don't know that I could eat this entire recipe of shrimp. Now, I did use the small shrimp instead of the large. So number-wise, it just kind of looks like a lot. Shrimp does not take very long to cook, so I'm going to let that just cook up just a little bit. I may hit it with a little salt and pepper. But here's the easiest thing in the world to do. We're going to add 1/4 of a cup of our Newman's. You know, sometimes I found Newman's is a little bit more mindful on carbs. I don't know, like even their dressings and things. So for a creamy, yummy dish, this is a pretty good substitution. Okay, and now we're looking for 2 tablespoons of pesto. Now I've done this one. Pesto's just pesto. It's olive oil, basil, usually involves some pine nuts and things like that. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons. So I'm gonna give this a little stir. This is a half a tablespoon, so I'm gonna put 4. Again, guys, these are things that we'll keep in the fridge. And look how easy. This has got a date of December, okay? So I would probably keep this for maybe 2 or 3 weeks in the fridge, and then it'll probably be done. You've got that. We've got frozen shrimp, almost cooked up and ready. You could actually roast that in the oven too. That would give it some nice crunchy edges. We're gonna stir this. Oh, here's the deal, guys. Do I feel like a cheat? You know it, because I like to think of myself as a foodie, and I just open this up, I put this in here, I'm gonna toss it in the microwave now. And I'm gonna grab a plate, because that's how quick this meal is coming together. I think I can hold this now. This spaghetti squash is nice and ready to go. So sorry, need a fork. Take a fork. I'm gonna shred this out of here. Ooh, hot. Again, this is a dish that you could take back some of the spaghetti squash. Oh my goodness, yum. I just love the smell of that. Let me see how much spaghetti is. 1.5 cups. I'm gonna hold off. That's about a cup of spaghetti squash, because I don't want all of my green to come from the spaghetti squash. I would love to add something really green, like maybe some broccoli or those leftover green beans that I'm gonna get out of the air fryer here in a second. Did anybody start their watch? Because that was super quick. Okay, 7 ounces of cooked shrimp. Guys, this is going to be an amazing meal. If you are still considering plan as restrictive and depleting, as far as like, I'm gonna starve if I do her weight loss plan, you're not gonna starve. This is amazing. I'm gonna wait that on the side. I'm gonna grab out my sauce. Oh, once again, man, I wish you were here, because that smells delicious. We're gonna toss our cooked shrimp over. Holy smoke, that's gonna be delicious. And I'm gonna take the sauce that was just heated in the microwave and pour it right over the top. Yum. I believe they've allowed for, oh, they did, a tablespoon of yummy Parmesan cheese. Give it another little bite. I think I have everything. Oh, because I have to double check, because I'm like, is that enough ingredients? Really? Guys, who has to go hungry? These are amazing things. Now I gotta tell you, oh, let me check my zucchini. I gotta tell you a couple things about Plan. I often refer to 5-in-1, and I could tell you who I work for. I really could. I'm a very transparent person. Message me. I'd love to walk you through a little bit more about Plan. But before I do that, I have to say, I want to explain myself. Why is it that I don't talk about my plan? Well, first of all is, the team I'm on, we don't believe in salesy. We're just not. I want you to come on board with me when you're 100% ready for change, when you are 100% ready to make a lifestyle transformation. We don't sell no quick fixes around here, okay? There's no quick fix. It's hard work, it's determination to get to a different place in your health than you've ever been before. But I show you all the time the lean and green part of this plan. Here's the 1 meal a day that is your responsibility to learn and to grow and to change the way that you're eating. But what is the 5, right? There's the mystery. What is the 5? Let me just show you. I wish I could clear off a spot. I have to clear off a spot because the rest of your nutrition could look like this. Guys, a full day means every 2.5 hours, fueling your body. This is good stuff. This is good practice for us to learn. How do we eat 6 smaller meals a day and learn to put the right things in at the right time? I wanted to show you a few of the fuelings. Whether it's savory things, whether it's things that I make in a waffle iron that look like bread. And actually, they taste pretty good too. I'm going to warm this up in a little bit. Starting my day out with cereal, kind of pushing all those early childhood sugar cereal kind of buttons for me. I love a good cereal. I start this with half a cup of almond milk. It brings all the emotions back of sugar cereal. Or just the convenience of being a grab and go peanut butter bar that I love. And then we've got snacks. Where do we go if we're hungry in between, Julie? And I'm about to eat my arm off, and you said I couldn't eat but every 2.5 hours. You guys on plan, you know what I'm talking about. Here's some Jell-O. You can have Jell-O. Did you know Jell-O actually has a little bit of protein in it? But this one is a sugar-free Jell-O. Again, sometimes it's mind over matter. You have to kind of get yourself out of the routine of thinking you have to eat. But when there is a part of the day that you were like, I'm really needing something to eat, then you have an optional snack once a day. Almonds, a great source for a snack, 2 to 3 days a week, healthy fat, 11 to 14 almonds. Pickles. Isn't that great? You know, even if you're craving something rich like chocolate or peanut butter, sometimes the salty crunch of a pickle will actually satisfy that craving. Sounds crazy, but it will. Also, the sodium in pickle kind of helps us out if we need a little electrolyte boost, if our sodium's a little bit depleted because our water has been so good, right? So pickles are a great source. So guys, can you imagine eating all of this and then eating all of this? And here's the deal. I call it on-the-job training because while you're learning to eat one of these a day, you're rocking your nutrition. Your body is just burning fat and you're moving through progress successfully for maybe the first time in a long time. So I would love to tell you more about that. But again, it's not my sales pitch, but I do have to say, I love a good bargain. And I do have a really great bargain going on for you right now. So if you have been holding off for finances and you need a little boost, let me know, because there are some specials going on right now that doesn't happen often, and we don't promote it that way because, again, I don't want you coming to me because it's a sale. I want you coming to me because it's exactly the right time for you to make change. And those of you that are on here that are clients, you know, until you are ready, there is no plan that will help you get to that place of health except for hard work and determination. Okay? So I can't wait to talk to you and meet you. You can find me on Facebook, Julie Brinkley, or Motivation with Brink on Instagram. I would love to help you out. Don't forget, check back to Beneath the Surface later on today. She will be posting these recipes along with all my other recipes are available on The Crumb, which can be found on beneaththesurfacenews.com. And if you ever have questions about those recipes, because like I said, I'm not a professional, mistakes get made. If you have a question about those recipes, please be sure to let me know. Reach out to me on either of those platforms or right here on Beneath the Surface News. I bet Sarah will let me know. And until then, I have to tell you too, I won't be here next week, but I'll see you in 2 weeks. And until then, be nice.